and welcome to your weekly messages. Today is Saturday, the 20th of January 2024. Astrologically, we have a very exciting weekend with both the Sun and Pluto moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. As you know, I'm not an astrologer, but it's going to be, I think, there's going to be some powerful changes coming in with that transit. If you want to know more about the astrology, later on today, I am chatting with the lovely Liz Neville and the amazing Amy Bird about the astrology at this time. I'm sure that Amy will give us an astrological update in detail, because she is very knowledgeable and wise on the astrology scene. And the lovely Liz, I am sure, will add her words of wisdom along the way. So check that out. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but by the time you watch this, it may have done. So look out for that as well, because that's going to take a deeper dive into the astrology and how it can affect us, and the best way for us to navigate these energies. That's what it's all about. It's about navigating life with ease and grace. And having the heads up on these things can be really helpful, can't it? The other thing I want to say is if you're interested in joining my emotion code workshop, online emotion code workshop, so that you can learn how to do the emotion code for yourself and release your own trapped emotions, become your very own energy healer, or you may be already an energy healer and want to add the emotion code to your toolbox. Check out the details on my website, devilejamesarmsworth.com, link in the description. That is happening on Monday evening Spanish time. So have a look, it's online. So everyone can join. Also, if you haven't seen the messages for the month of January, link in the description, video in the end screen. And of course, for the whole year of 2024, I'll also put a link in the description, video in the end screen, because they're obviously super relevant. So let's have a look. Let's close our eyes and take a deep breath down to the belly. Activate your own intuition, because if you're watching this, if you've been drawn to watch this, there's a message here for you somewhere. If it resonates, take it. That's the message for you. If it doesn't resonate, just let it float on by. So we've got 3 cards. I think that's it. Let's have a look. We have the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles is very much about, typically it's about not holding on too tightly to your money. Sometimes it can be, don't let money flow through your fingers, don't waste money. Because Pentacles to me is abundance of all kind. So I include in that your energy, your time and your resources in general. It's about not holding on too tightly, but not wasting. So therefore, I interpret this card as being investing in yourself. So a lot of people think they can't afford the time, the money, or the energy to have more me time, or to have a healing treatment, or to leave a job they don't like. A lot of people will say, well, no, I can't afford to leave that job. Or a lot of people will say, no, I can't afford the time to do the things I love, and that's because they're not thinking about energy. What did Nikola Tesla say? If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And understanding that you are the creator of your own reality, and you are creating your reality, your life, because your life is a holographic projection of you. So you are creating your own life through your frequency. So I always say you can't afford not to do the activities, the treatments, whatever it might be, that raise your frequency. This is about investing your time, your money, and your energy in raising your frequency. Because I think now, going forward in this Great Awakening, understanding the importance of your frequency and understanding how you create your own reality from your frequency. This is the most important thing to wake up to, okay? This realization that when you raise your frequency, your life changes, and it changes for the better. Yes, there might be some trials and tribulations along the way of the awakening. Of course there is. We've already mentioned the importance of navigating these trials and tribulations with ease and grace and understanding as to why we create suffering for ourselves, because that's what we're doing ultimately. We are creating suffering for ourselves because we wake up through suffering. We wake up through whatever's coming up, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, this past week on a personal level, I've had so much fear come up within me, and it seems really irrational. You know, it's like, where's this fear coming from? It's irrational. It's easy to say, oh, it's not mine. Okay, and on one level, it may not have been. It may not have been Deborah's fear, but when you understand that you are the whole universe in one human being, that beautiful quote by Rumi that says, you're not just a drop in the ocean, you're the whole ocean in one drop. So we understand, don't we, that we are the whole universe in one human being. So therefore, it was my energy, it was my fear, and I'm taking responsibility for it. Well, I took responsibility for it. If it happens again, I'll take responsibility for it. So rather than pushing it away and saying it's not mine, if you're feeling it, it has come to you for you to process. Now, the further down this path we go, of being a healer or a transmuter of energy, a light worker, a way shower, whatever you want to call it, what we're actually doing is we're transmuting the lower frequency emotions through our understanding and through our consciousness and through our processing of it into love. So if you're feeling something, whether it's you've picked it up from someone else, some people would say there is no one else, right? But if you're feeling it, it has come to you. It has to come from you because the outside world is a reflection of the inside. So how can there be something outside of you that is not part of you? Because everything outside of you has come from you. So you may not, as you're human, identify with it. So this is why, you know, these understandings are really important. And I have a lesson in Awakening called You Are Your Higher Self. I'll put a link in the description to that as well, and the video in the end screen, because it's obviously really relevant. Understanding that you are your higher self and you are not your human. So sometimes I will refer to Deborah in the third person because she's my human, right? And we can love our humans. I often use this example. I used to understand that you are your higher self is a good way of self-love, because then you can view your human with love. You can view your human like a child and love them. And it really helped me love Deborah by viewing her as a child, creating her own suffering and not knowing what's going on. And, you know, in our human state, in our human experience, we're so limited with all of the senses. And the universe can only deliver us on a scale that we can cope with. So often I think, well, why didn't the universe tell me all of these things that I'm meant to be doing? Well, it's quite simple that I wouldn't have dealt with it in my limited human experience if we'd given it all in one go, which is why it's important to take everything kind of poco, you know, step by step. But my point being that when you understand that you are the whole universe, when an emotion comes up, if you're feeling it, please own it. Because I think there's a lot of people going, it's not mine, I want to get rid of it. I want to get rid of it, and they'll start trying to get rid of it. You can't get rid of energy. Everything is energy. Emotions are energy. Emotions are energy in motion. Everything is energy. We know that. So you can't get rid of anything. All we can do is transmute it to love. How do we transmute something to love? By understanding that we are the love and that our consciousness is love. So when you have that feeling, so let's say, for example, this week with me, it was fear. So I have this fear come up. Rather than trying to heal it, release it, push it away, whatever, I just had to feel it, okay? And it's really, really uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. But when you understand that you can love your human, love your higher self, love everything. I mean, loving everything changes everything. It really does. Understanding the process, understanding the Great Awakening, understanding that you're here at this time to do this work. So when you have that feeling come up, own it, honor it, acknowledge it, okay? Because it's by disowning these feelings that we're actually keeping the negativity in our holographic projection. And if we want to create heaven on earth, we have to fill our holographic projection with love, right? So we have to feel it to heal it. I know it sounds corny, but this is about feeling it to heal it. I'm also going to put a link in the description to this audiobook, which I think is really powerful. It's by Joseph Murphy. It was written ages ago. It's on YouTube. It's only 44 minutes or something, and it's called Feeling is the Secret. And another quote that I heard recently, I think it was from Paul Selig in his book of Innocence, Book of Innocence. The only thing that is real is how we feel. The only thing that is real is how we feel. And it's really important to understand that. So that fear, you know, focusing on it with your body relaxed, which you can't do when you're actually in real fear. And if you were, in my case, driving at the time, you need to kind of get yourself somewhere safe, obviously. But then that's why sometimes bringing that feeling back up is really important, because you might push it down just to survive the rest of the journey, shall we say. But you need to bring it back up. Be relaxed. Working with someone obviously will help if you have a friend to work with, a fellow light worker, healer, or what have you. But feel it. I was feeling it in my heart, but understand the process. Understand that by loving yourself and loving the process and understanding how you are here at this time to do this work, you can just feel into the fear. And it was really uncomfortable. Of course it was, but that's how we transmute it into love, okay? Because the reason that it's trapped in the cells of your body, and this can be your human's emotion, it could be the collective emotion. It doesn't really matter. There is no difference between you and the collective, right? But the reason that it's trapped and stuck is because we didn't want to feel it. It's probably come up before, and then we just keep pushing it down, don't we? Or it's come up before and we haven't known how to deal with it. So we've tried to push it away, but that's not really going to work, because the only thing that's going to transmute it is to raise it to the higher octave, to the upper room, as Paul Selig would say, but to raise it in frequency by honoring it, loving it. You can have gratitude for the journey. You came here at this time to do this. So yes, it is tiring, but when you understand what you're doing, it's fine. And because you are creating your own reality, you will probably find, like I did, that your timetable eased up. You had the time, you had the support. I had people coming in. You know, I had somebody from Australia just offering me a free healing. And my first instinct was to say, well, no, I don't need it, or, you know, not to take something. And I thought, hang on a minute, I offer freebies all the time. This is the universe giving back to me when I need. And so I gratefully received. So it's about the universe will bring you exactly what you need in the time that you need it. And even to the extent that events happened in my holographic projection that caused this fear to come up. It was like, it's coming up, it's come up before, but this time it's come up and you're going to have to deal with it, Deborah. And so that's what this card is saying to me. It's about investing your time, your money, and your energy in processing any emotions that come up. Understanding that raising your frequency is the most important thing you can do. So the conclusion being that once you've processed that fear into love and you've transmuted it into love, your frequency rises. Of course it does. And when your frequency rises, your holographic projection changes. So now the trigger that brought the fear up I see it now every day, and it doesn't bring up fear. What it does is it actually brings up love, because it makes me remember, oh my goodness, I used to have a problem with that. I don't anymore. It helps me love Deborah. It helps me love my higher self. It helps me love the all that is. It helps me love the universe, because everything just came in to help me at that time. And I just love the process. Love the process. Because on the other side of that transmutation of energy is joy and peace and harmony. It's powerful. It's powerful, powerful, powerful. Okay, I think the other two cards I've already talked about, even though I haven't turned them over, because the second one is the 10 of Wands. And that's how I was feeling in the fear, right? It's burdened. It was like on my shoulders. So when I was actually processing it, it was going on for about 2 days. When I was actually processing this and getting triggered again and things like that, it felt a bit like this. So the 10 of Wands is very much about carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, because I was very aware, you know, it's not my energy. Yes, it was Deborah's fear as well, but it was also past life. There was a past life connection there as well, 2 past life connections. One of them I had dealt with before, but this was another one, which is why it had come up again. But also understanding that I'm transmuting energy like you are for the collective at this time. So that's why it can feel quite weighty, the weight of the world on your shoulders. When you're actually going through that processing, when you're feeling into that fear, yes, of course, it can feel like this. But on the other hand, what he's done, this is the harvest, and he's bringing it home. So there is always a silver lining. There is always a silver lining. That's what I love about this card. It does mean hard work, and which is also interesting, because hard work is a sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is very much about hard work. And of course, this weekend, Pluto is moving. Pluto and Sun are both moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. So things will lighten up. But I think this week, this process, is let's use the positive qualities of Capricorn, the hard work and the dedicated attitude and everything, to process and transmute these emotions that are coming up. Because once he gets this home, that's his harvest. Then he's living in plenitude, he's living in abundance, isn't he? And gratitude and all those beautiful energies and frequencies. So yeah, I'm not surprised that he's come up, because it can feel like hard work when we're doing it. But when you understand why you're doing it, if you're watching this video, you're a healer, you're a light worker, you're a way shower, you've come here to change things. And this is how we change them, through love. And the third card is the Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles, of course, so he's moved on from the 4 of Pentacles, and he's going in the right direction. The horses always represent positive movement forward. The earth is abundance. The pentacle is earth element. It's abundant, it's steady. It can be slow, but for me, the message with that is just take your time on these things. Take your time. You don't have to rush them, and because we evolve in a spiral, we often have events, situations, maybe traumas that come back again, and we're like, oh, I dealt with this. And that's exactly what I did with the fear that came up. I was like, I thought I dealt with that, but it's come up at a higher level of consciousness for me to deal with it at a deeper level. So before, when I dealt with it, I was probably just dealing with Deborah's, situation. But understanding that you are the whole universe in one human being means that when you transmute this fear, you feel that you are transmuting it on behalf of the collective. It can be a very emotive process, but when you're transmuting it on behalf, willingly, openly, understandingly, transmuting it on behalf of the whole collective, then it's perfect, because that's what's taking you to a higher level. So that's what I think he's representing. So it can seem slow and repetitive, but it's steady. It's like slow and steady wins the race. Remember, you are protected. Knights are protected. You are protected by your level of consciousness. Your level of consciousness helps you understand the whole process. So he is moving forward with his understanding. He's moving forward. He's raised his frequency, and he's going in the right direction. It's perfect. It's a lovely little reading, and I think this is, you know, very much for this time that we're in at the moment, is taking these emotions and processing them, and able to raise our frequency, because of course when we raise our frequency, we raise the collective, and that's what we came here to do. So, and you are protected by your understanding of all of this. So nothing can hurt you. It's all happening within you. So, yeah, it's all happening within you. So enjoy the process, I want to say. Enjoy the process. And there was a lovely, I'm not sure if I'm going to remember it now, an adaptation of the prayer of serenity. God, give me the serenity I'm going to write it in the description. I don't want to do an injustice by not repeating it perfectly. So in the description, I'm going to write it out, because it's a beautiful little prayer that I think it's fun for this time. So, wow. I hope that resonates with you. So we have got some powerful transmutation to go through. And remember, we're doing it from a place of love. We're doing it from a place of love, because you are the love. You are the love, and you're using your consciousness, which is pure love, to transmute on behalf of your human, behalf of your community, and on behalf of the collective. So I want to thank you for doing this inner work, because this is how we're creating heaven on earth. And thank you for your part in creating heaven on earth. I love you all. See you in the next video. Look out for the one I'm doing in a minute with Liz and Amy. So, bye for now.